Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
About once a year or so, I have back trouble, so I can't even sit in my lounge chair comfortably. All I can do is walk around and perch on the edge of a hard chair for a few minutes at a time. As I wait for my doctor's appointment to get shots in my back, I walk around the house looking longingly at my lounge chair. Last time, I got to wondering why I loved my chair so much. I realized it's because that's where I always go to meet God. When I sit there, its soft comfortableness surrounds me like I'm cradled in the hand of God. That's why I miss it so much. That's the picture I get when I read John 15:9, where Jesus says, "As the Father loved me, I also have loved you. Abide in my love." In my chair, I can relax and abide in God's love in almost a physical way. Maybe you have a special place that makes you feel that way too, whether it's a spot in your house, an overlook with mountains in the background, or a sunroom where you can look at your garden. Of course, abiding in God's love means more than a special place to meet Him, though it may start there. It means obedience. Jesus said, "If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in His love. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you." Then He defines love, that agape love that God has for us. He says, "Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends." And we know what Jesus was about to do for both His friends and His enemies, die for us on the cross, bearing all our sin and guilt so that we could have salvation. That's His love playing out in His life. Jesus doesn't necessarily ask us to physically die to show our love for Him and others, but He does want us to die to self. He's told His disciples that all along. "Take up the cross and follow me. Unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much grain." So what does dying to self look like? Mainly, it's obedience to the Lord. It's giving up our desires and goals for His desires and goals. It looks like changing our schedule when we see someone in need that He wants us to help. It's going out in the evening to a Bible study when you'd rather stay home. It's going out of your way to encourage someone or to make them feel special. It's obeying that urge from God to go over and talk to a neighbor or coworker about Him. It's gladly obeying with a joyful heart out of love for Christ. In fact, have you ever thought about what might be God's love language? Back in 1992, Gary Chapman wrote a book on marriage called The 5 Love Languages. They are words of affirmation, quality time, giving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. We know God wants to give Him words of affirmation or praise. He always longs to spend quality time with us. He gives us gifts so that we can use them for Him, like money, time, and talents. And He expects us to serve Him. Of course, physical touch, we can't really hug God, but we glorify Him when we physically meet the needs of others around us and love on them. But I think God's main love language is joyful obedience. Obedience out of a heart overflowing with gratitude and love for Him. He says, "You are my friends if you do whatever I command you." Normally, we wouldn't want a friend on those kind of conditions, but when that friend is God, the one who created all things and holds them together, the one who provided a way of salvation for the whole world, even for those who hated Him, well, that's a different story. How are you doing at showing God love in His love language of joyful obedience? Which is the hardest part for you, the joyful or the obedient part? And how is He calling you today to obey with a joyful heart?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
day.